At Sunrise, a very, very special treat on this Monday edition. I'm here with Mary Ellen Gilliland, and you most likely know her very well, and you didn't even know it. You probably own several of her books, and I know that I do actually. She's the one that when it comes to finding out what to do and where to hike and where to explore here in Summit County, her guides are going to be in all the grocery stores, all the bookstores, and you're really kind of like the go-to girl when it comes to finding those adventures. I love it too. It really is one of my first purchases when I moved to town. Was getting your books and saying, okay, like I'm gonna go and check these things out.
Yeah.
And so, tell us a little bit about the benefit of hiking here in Summit County. What do you love so much about it?
Well, I think that it's a wonderful thing to disappear from the valley floor and all the urban kind of things, and just evaporate into the woods. And there you'll find high lakes, pristine high lakes, waterfalls. Sometimes, for example, like the waterfalls in McCullough Gulch or South Willow Falls, multiple waterfalls, one upon another upon another. You'll find wildflowers. You'll find the leafy glades of the aspen colonies. You'll find crystal streams. You will find lots of history still remaining, the relics of our gold and silver rush history in ghost towns and historic high passes. Narrow gauge railway remains, and a mine cabin here or there. And it's fun to find out, who lived here, who worked here, what mine was this. And so as an author and historian, I include the history of the trail, which I find fascinating, and other people tell me they like it too.
Oh, definitely. And that, I think, is one of my favorite parts about having your books, is because you do get a little sense of what was going on there before you got there. Like, for instance, I actually was just reading my Summit Hiker the other day as I was exploring the Gore Creek Trail, which I didn't even know existed until I looked in the book. And it was talking about how I-70 might have actually gone through there.
Yes.
Because that's where the miners went. And I never would have known that until I picked up your book.
Yes. And that's an interesting thing. I'm so glad I-70 didn't go through there. It was going to go up between Buffalo Mountain, which most people know, and Red Peak, which is just north of it, into a glorious valley. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that it's an avalanche alley. It would have been a disaster to put it there. Mm. The way around Vail Pass is longer. This was a shortcut. But luckily, reason prevailed, and the highway did not go through that gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful area. And
it is a beautiful area to go hiking if you're looking for something fun to do. And so, how about easy hikes? Are there some good easy hikes?
I think a lot of people who are visitors and then locals with families think when they look at the mountains, oh my gosh, everything is extreme, strenuous, arduous. But we have many trails that are just sweet for kids, families, visitors who want to test their strength, see how do I do at high altitude. And so I've got in the Summit Hiker a special section of hikes for kids, and then I also divide the hikes into hikes by difficulty so that you can see, here are all the easy hikes. Mm-hmm. Here are the moderate hikes, and the more difficult, and then the really challenging. And there are a lot of people that come here and they want those challenging hikes.
Oh, yeah.
One that I could recommend even for right now is Mount Royal. And that is a wonderful trail because families, hikers who have just recently arrived here can stretch their legs, go up a short hike just to Old Mason Town, which was a thriving mining community until March of 1926, when an avalanche off of Mount Victoria smashed the town to smithereens. They had an ore mill which was huge, sturdy. It would just matchsticks. This avalanche, you can still see the path. If you look up toward Mount Royal, you'll see that path. You can see it from Dillon, from everywhere, Frisco.
Right.
And so, the easier hike is to Old Mason Town, wonderful destination. The more difficult hike is to climb Mount Royal because it starts getting really steep right there.
Right.
And if you're an all-day, high-energy advanced hiker, you can continue up Mount Victoria and to climb Peak 1. So there is an all-purpose trail for every level of hiker with
Right.
joys for each one. Lots of mines, lots of drop-dead views along the way.
Oh,
Lake Dillon
gosh.
is spread out before you. It's beautiful.
I just hearing you describe it makes me want to get out there and do that today. And so, what about wildflowers right now? I know that people love. I mean, I am no exception to this, but
Yeah.
wildflowers. Where's the best spot to go for those right now?
Well, we're having a drought year, which makes it interesting. One of the things that happens during a drought year is that certain flowers, which we normally see in a more wet season, will remain dormant, and others that we never see will pop out because they're the drought-loving flowers. And like locoweed, which comes in a variety of white, pink, fuchsia, just really neat colors. I think that right now, for example, Cataract Creek, which is down the blue, will be awash in columbine. I think that soon, earlier than we normally expect, the subalpine meadows are going to burst into a riot of color. And those are the meadows below timberline, usually kind of wet, marshy meadows. And those usually bloom starting around July 15th. I think they're going to start blooming later. And interestingly enough, the very high places where the wind scours the snow off during the winter will be blooming, and that would be, for example, Loveland Pass. There are 2 hikes above the pass, very high, but quite doable. They go to about 12,500 feet, and they're blooming with what we call belly flowers. They're the little tiny flowers that are a cluster flower. They're dome-shaped, and you get down on your belly to see the tiny gems, but there are all sorts of jewel colors of these little flowers. And then the meadows up there are blooming as well. So go high, you wouldn't think so, but the high passes are sometimes very good right now in June.
Oh my gosh, I could just listen to you talk all day. So if people are interested in exploring some of these hikes that we've been describing this morning, tell us a little bit about your books and where we can get them.
Yes. Well, The Summit Hiker, which is in its 8th edition, people don't know sometimes that hiking guides, just like, say, a guide to New York City, will have to change. The restaurants change, the hotels change. In this case, the trails change. So this is the 8th edition, all updated and revised. And The Vail Hiker, which just came out a couple weeks ago in a brand new, completely updated, full color edition.
Ooh, love it.
Those books are available in the bookstores, for example, The Next Page in Frisco. They're available in sporting goods stores, Wilderness Sports in Silverthorne, North Face in Breckenridge, stores in Frisco, and then the grocery stores, as you mentioned earlier. So, and they're also available on our website, which is alpinerosepress.com, or an easier, we have 2 websites, summitandvailhikes.com.
All right.
So,
well, you can see the books right there, and it's such a pleasure to have you here on the show. I mean, you're such a big part of us understanding our history and, of course, being able to explore and all the adventures here in Summit County. So pick up those books today, and I think we also need to leave you really quickly with Watch and Win. I think we should maybe just do it this way. I would say, how about the third caller right now? $25 at Pug Ryan's could be yours to enjoy any way you please. Maybe you can pick up one of Mary Ellen's books and go and relax on their patio outside and have one of their fantastic signature cocktails. But third caller right now, 970-262-6388, extension 16, wins $25 to Pug Ryan's. But we are going to go ahead and close out our Monday edition of Summit Sunrise.
A joy for me to talk to you, and your enthusiasm just buoys me up.
I tell you what, I've enjoyed your books since I moved here. I really have. And I think there's so many of us that feel the same way. And just a little sneak peek for you guys, Mary Ellen is going to be doing some history for us here on TV8 Summit to add to our Exploring Summit County show, and that'll be coming your way in the next few weeks. So definitely look for that here on TV8 Summit. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And we're gonna say goodbye for now, and we'll see you back here again live at 8 a.m. tomorrow.